great to hear all the conversations going on, and even if we didn't attend Judson at the same time or encounter Judson at the same time, finding those common threads that bind us all together is wonderful to hear in the room. As you're finishing your desserts, please continue to eat and have your coffee. We just want to recognize our anniversary years that are celebrating special anniversaries this year. You should have received a gift on your chair. Come and see me afterwards if you did not get one if you're celebrating an anniversary year. But I will ask you to stand or raise your hand as we read these off and recognize all those wonderful anniversaries we're celebrating today. Celebrating 5 years, we have Ratisha Bolin. Here we go. Celebrating 10 years, Todd Ulrich and Pete Walk. Celebrating 15 years, we have Amy Spiewak. Celebrating 20 years from the class of 2004, Laura King. And then we're going to jump over to celebrating 35 years with 1989, Elliot Anderson and Renee Van Hee. Renee's waving in the back over there. Celebrating 40 years, 1984 class, Sylvia Bittner and Pamela Hughes. And then we have a couple larger groups here. So celebrating 45 years, the class of 1979. It's Kristen Stombres, Devlin Donaldson, Keith Drew, Paula Gates, John Coble, and Sandy Thompson. And we will have one person from the class of 1969, 55 years, Randy Gauger. Thank you for being here. We do have special recognition for our 50-year celebration class of 1974. And I'm going to ask Carissa to come up forward here. Is she still here? Did she walk away? She left me. She ran away. Do you mind doing the honors? Thank you. No, you're not. So for this, those of you in the class of 1974, when I read your name, if you'll come forward and receive your medallion, your 50-year medallion. Paula Ababy. And maybe I'll just have you all stay up here to Dr. Kroom's left as you come up. Sharon Bell Wilson. Mary Lou Campus. Jackie Crandall. Mark Hetrick. And a duo, we have Steve and Deborah Lefevre. They didn't make it to my list. You're right. I'm sorry. Thank you. I printed this off too early this afternoon. Dan and Paula Gates as well. That's Paula. Okay, thank you. So thank you all for coming today and celebrating your 50-year anniversary. We'll get a quick picture, and we'll get a picture at the end as well. Thank you, everyone. Now, at this time, I will invite Dr. Kroom to come up as we celebrate our Alumni Awards.
When people ask what is the best part about being a university president, there really should only be one answer, and that's commencement. That is the best part by far. That's where the fruition of all the work that we do comes together. It's just wonderful to see the graduates, whether they be a traditional student or an adult student, and their families. And one of the neat things that we do because of our graduations, we say, if you have a son or daughter graduating, stand up. And then we say, if you have a sibling graduating, stand up. And then we say, if you have a mom or dad graduating, stand up. And inevitably, there's a lot of young people stand up. And then we say, if you have a grandparent graduating, would someone hold you up, or would you stand up? It's just wonderful to see that. This is the second best thing to do when you're a president, and that's to recognize outstanding alumni for what they've done. And when you hear their speeches and presentations, and when you hear their accomplishments that I have the privilege of reading in advance, but also reading and sharing with you all, you can tell why. So we look forward to presenting these awards. The first award we're going to present is the Distinguished Alumni Award. The Distinguished Alumni Award is presented to 4 alumni this year who've made outstanding contributions to their profession and community as they model excellence in their vocation. Our inductees will join 55 other distinguished alumni that include individuals in the room such as Elliot Anderson, Lynn Long, and Kristen Stombrace, who are with us today. The bios of our Alumni Award winners are also printed in your program, printed in the back of your program, but I have the privilege of formally introducing them to you, and they'll come forward and receive their award from Carissa and then share a few brief comments. Rob Davidson graduated from Judson University in 2008. Now, when I read your name, that's your cue to come forward. So, Rob, you get to start the party. I'm a late bloomer. There you go. You are not. You told us about that in chapel, which was wonderful today, by the way. Rob Davidson graduated from Judson University in 2008 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Interdisciplinary Communications. Prior to graduating, Rob began his own photography business, Rob Davidson Photography, in 2007. Regarded as the people photographer, which Cindy and I know to be true because he came and did our daughter's wedding in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and he is the people photographer. Rob has impacted the lives of countless people through his work, capturing the moments that matter at special events, weddings, celebrations, and creating lifelong memories through his visual imagery. Rob is very passionate and creative with his work, using a combination of contemporary photojournalism, natural and vintage styles. From family portraits to headshots, corporate marketing, and more, he works to capture each moment uniquely and creatively with a sense of fun and passion. And if you've ever seen Rob work, especially when he has his cameras, he has 2 shoulder holsters on. And I think it's the closest I've ever been to being in a Western by watching you, except they're cameras. In 2020, Rob furthered his impact by co-founding Axiom Media Group, which helps organizations connect with their audience by taking their message and bringing it to life through top-notch video, photography, design, and social media management. In 2024, Axiom Media was named the best advertising agency in Wheaton, Illinois, for the 2024 Quality Business Awards. Please give a big round of applause to Rob Davidson.
Oh, thanks. Got a lot of fingerprints on it, sorry. I'll clean it up later. I know I have 3 minutes, so I want to go quickly through a lot of thank yous. It was great being able to speak in chapel this morning. Going through my Judson story, I'll give you the quick, super brief summary of how my time here at Judson was something that God taught me is there's no way you could ever predict or plan your own way. It's God's way, period. And so Proverbs 3:5-6 summarize it best with trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. For those that don't know, when I was at Judson, I had a camera that was stolen, a little point-and-shoot camera, and that's when I replaced it with an actual professional-grade camera that I knew nothing about, learned how to use it. Judson saw me taking pictures and actually wanted to use me instead of a real photographer to promote the school. And instead of, they're risking on me to promote something that I'm learning. And, the rest is history. Now I'm a professional photographer, media company, because of Judson pouring into me as a student. And I'm seeing that throughout the campus. And so thank you to staff, reaching out to Dr. Krim in the first place on Twitter just sets the tone for what kind of president we have. And it's been amazing when the first words out of his mouth was, "How can I help?" And it shows across campus. So thank you so much for that. To all the professors and people that were patient with me while I was on campus, thank you. Friends and family, table 6, that's what's up. Appreciate everyone's support through my career at Judson, but then after too, being awesome motivation with everyone that's over there. And obviously my wife, Constance, for being a rock and solid for me to be able to bounce all sorts of lame ideas, and that sounds great. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for this award.
Our second Distinguished Alumni Award recipient is Brock Henderson. Brock graduated from Judson College in 2003 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Visual Communications. Today, Brock is a game developer, designer, and entrepreneur. He believes that video games are the preeminent art form of this century and that the world is a better place when we play together. His work focuses on creating games that go beyond entertainment and spark connections between people. Brock's body of work ranges from the serious to the silly. In the past 14 years, he has shipped over 25 titles on 9 platforms, including the BAFTA award-winning game, That Dragon Cancer. He serves as the lead developer of the Salvation Poem, the co-founder and creative director of the independent studio PXL, is it Pug? Pixel Pug, and the board president for the Christian Game Developers Conference. He also explores the intersection of faith and game development through his blog and podcast at Faith Forms. Before entering games, he co-founded the design firm Paper Tower with fellow Judson alum Brendan Jones, 2004, and served as its creative director for over a decade. Brock resides in Iowa with his wife Vanessa, whom he met at Judson, and their 6 kids. Please join in a round of applause for Brock Henderson.
Well, thank you so much for this honor. This whole experience is a little surreal. It's just unbelievable how 21 years has passed since I graduated here. And it's also, it's a little weird me standing up here because the church kind of generally doesn't have a great relationship with games, video games, and it's an uneasy relationship. Some people politely tolerate them, many dismiss them, and others have outright rejected them. My friends and I have been told things like video games are tools of the devil, they're ruining our youth, hindering our boys from becoming men. And when the Christian media does cover them, it's usually in a negative light, focusing on their addictiveness and other adverse qualities. So this puts me in an awkward position because I love video games and I love making them, and it's the only thing I ever wanted to do. Excuse me. And somehow, by the grace of God, He's blessed me with the opportunity to turn it into a career and a ministry. And Judson's played a key part in all of that. Judson is where I met my best friends, my wife. It's where my faith became my own, and it's where I learned how faith is integrated in every part of life. It used to surprise me that a lot of people I meet don't actually know how their faith and their work intersect and that they can connect. Oftentimes their faith is kind of lived in a silo. And it wasn't until I realized that it's so obvious to me because of my time here at Judson. Being able to sit under professors like Delray Lovin, G.E. Colpitz, Warren Anderson, Bill Suddy, and many, many more. They not only taught this in the classroom, but they lived it out in their lives and in their work. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank all the professors here. You're doing important and sacred work. I also want to thank my parents for their support and the sacrifices that they've made. I want to thank my sister and brother-in-law who housed me and fed me and helped provide some balance when I was sleep-deprived as a student here. And finally, I want to say thank you to my wife and my kids who have made my life so full. And thank you.
Elliot and Warren, you have let Brock know that literally behind this wall is a video arcade. Video games. So we have keys. We can get in. We do. We have a professor who teaches psychology, and Brock, everything that we read describing you, he affirms with people coming together and playing games and things. So we have a classic arcade he's testing out this year right behind us. Perhaps with all the nods in the room, we should all go there afterwards. And everybody's being very affirming with this concept. So Brock, you're in really good spot right now, really good spot. Our third distinguished alumnus is Laura King. Chief Laura King graduated from Judson University in 2004 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice. And as you hear me read, I almost wanted to ask her ahead of time, which title or descriptor do you want me to use for your career? It is impressive, Laura. Her commitment to lifelong learning is evident in her accomplishment of earning a Master of Arts degree in psychology and a Doctor of Philosophy from Capella University in Minneapolis. She has sought out advanced training and professional development opportunities, graduating from both Northwestern University School of Police Chief and Command and the prestigious 265th session of the Federal Bureau of Investigation National Academy. Chief King has also served as Chief of Police for the McHenry County, Illinois Conservation District for 5 years now. With an exceptional career spanning decades, Chief King has made invaluable contributions to the field of criminal justice. Chief King's journey in law enforcement began in 1996 when she joined the ranks of the McHenry Police Department as a patrol officer. Chief King's dedication to excellence and her expertise in narcotics investigations led her to serve as an inspector with the esteemed North Central Narcotics Task Force. Here, she played a pivotal role in conducting overt and covert operations, working collaboratively with federal, state, and local agencies. In 2003, Chief King took the role of detective, specializing in a wide range of areas, including asset forfeiture, financial crimes, sexual assault, crimes against children, crimes against the elderly, forensic interviewing, and evidence processing and handling. Here, she demonstrated an unwavering commitment to seeking justice for victims and upholding the law. As an adjunct instructor in the criminal justice and psychology programs at McHenry County College in Woodstock, she imparts her wisdom and expertise to the next generation of criminal justice professionals. She has also served as an adjunct instructor at Judson University and Columbia College, Missouri, sharing her vast knowledge and passion for the field. As an author, Chief King's publications in Police Chief have provided valuable insights and perspectives on law enforcement practices. She has also been a distinguished presenter, captivating audiences with her expertise in building resiliency and emotional control in police operations. Please join me in welcoming Laura King as the 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award recipient.
Okay, Brock stole some of the things I was going to say. I came to Judson as an adult student. I was a police officer who had left college to pursue my career to save some money because I didn't know how I was going to pay for college. And police work was a really good fit for me. I was doing important work. I was bringing lightness to people's darkest hours, calm to their chaos, and being support at times when they didn't have any other support. And so I found the work really, really rewarding. And so I decided to stay there. The problem was I had left college, and at no place in my mind was I a person who wasn't going to be a college graduate. So I sought out a university to continue my formal education, and I'm so blessed that I found Judson. That was so overwhelming to me, working full time with a schedule as chaotic as police schedules can be, and having to find a place where I was going to be able to balance my studies. And the adult learning program at Judson was an incredible fit for me. They showed me a path that I could easily understand every step that I needed to take to get to my goal. During my time at Judson, I learned several things. The first thing that I learned was, like Brock said, that your faith should integrate into your life. Judson was the first time that I was in a faith-based education institution. I was a product of the public schools, and I was not used to this, about people talking about their faith, about talking about God and what they believed, and doing the right thing, and the reasons that we do the right things, and talking about the Bible and praying openly, and just celebrating life in a very, very different way than I was ever exposed to before. That was something my family did, but it wasn't something I knew how to do outside the household. And once I learned that, it changed everything. I learned how to be my authentic self. I learned that any challenge that was going to come before me, that I could get through as long as I had God by my side. And I had some incredible professors while I was here. And one of the professors pulled me aside and he said, I think you've got a lot of leadership potential, your heart's in the right place, but if you want to be competitive, if you want to get ahead in this field, and you want to lead people and help this profession, you're going to need to consider continuing your education beyond your bachelor degree and going on and getting your master's. So that cost me a lot of money. Because once I was there, they tricked me into getting my PhD. But I loved the study of psychology, and it really helped me be a better police officer, but it also helped me to be a better human. So, so you graduate, then you grind for like 10 or 15 years. You work really, really hard. And then someday, everything just clicks. And for me, everything just clicked. I was able to get to the point where I found an opportunity to be chief of police. And this day, only 3% of chiefs of police in the nation are female. And McHenry County is not the most progressive place in the world. So it was a big accomplishment. And it was not something that I could have done if I didn't know how to integrate my faith into my life, if I didn't know how to be my authentic self and stop trying to pretend to be what I thought the outside world wanted me to be. So that was really important. As chief of police, I got elected to the board of the Illinois Associations of Chiefs of Police. And last year, I was actually president of that organization. And while that is an accomplishment in and of itself, it was the first time in the organization's more than 85-year history that a woman held that position. So it was like, those glass kicking moments, right, where you're breaking that ceiling wide open. I wrote a book, and then as chief of an organization, I led with my heart, and I was transparent, and I prayed with my people, and I showed them the way, and I told them I cared more about them than I cared about the numbers or the job or the budget or anything like that. And eventually in 2024, we won the National Award for Officer Wellness Programs, which is just so huge. And so once that happened, I had the mic drop. Somebody came up to me, offered me a different job, and I actually retired as chief last October. And I took a position full-time working for a non-for-profit out of Florida, where I lead the national initiative for suicide awareness for law enforcement. And so I spend all of my time in the suicide awareness and prevention space now. I know that I have saved lives. I know that I've saved families. And I know that everything that I've accomplished is because of how I embraced God in my life. And I know that the only reason that happened was because I found Judson. So thank you to my beautiful family, my boys who are running a restaurant at 13 and 14 right now, and my husband who is here with me praying that the boys don't screw up the restaurant while we celebrate this very special moment. So thank you, and thank you all.
Our fourth distinguished alumnus is Todd Ulrich. Todd graduated from Judson University in 2014 with a Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership degree. Prior to attending Judson, Todd received his Bachelor of Arts in Economics and International Business at Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa, and began his career in electronic components. Todd has held several roles in sales, management, and leadership for companies in manufacturing, capacitors, circuit protection, and relays. Throughout his professional journey, Todd has led companies to record sales growth, building strong relationships with customers and transforming sales practices. Todd was awarded the Best in Class Award in 2020 from one of the world's largest electronics components distributors. Is it Mouser or Moser? Mouser Electronics. Today, Todd serves as the Director of Sales and Business Development at Quantic Electronics. Todd joined the Alumni Board in 2017, where his contributions were instrumental in helping professionalize the board and enhance the many ways they serve alumni. In his years of service, from 2017 to 2023, Todd offered exceptional leadership as Alumni Board Chair for 4 years, developing a Thankathon program for alumni donors, among other initiatives. He also established the Ulrich Senior Scholarship at Judson, which is awarded to one female and one male senior who have demonstrated excellence in the following areas during their college careers: leadership, academics, service, extracurricular, social, and innovation. In May of 2024, the Judson University Board of Trustees said, "We need someone to move to Tennessee to become a board member in Tennessee." This is how it went, I think, Jeannie, isn't that how, yeah. Todd said, "I'll go." But Jeannie went first and moved down there. Now, seriously, they moved to Tennessee, but we invite him to join the Board of Trustees at Judson, where he currently serves on the trusteeship committee. Congratulations, and please help me welcome Todd Ulrich as our newest Distinguished Alumni Award recipient.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm incredibly honored and humbled by this award. Upon receiving the news from Dr. Kroom, I began to reflect on my life's journey, and one word just kept coming over and over, and that was the word conversion. As Christians, we often think of conversion in the context of faith, our lives before Christ and our lives after Christ, and how we're transformed by His grace and love. But tonight I'd like to talk about another kind of conversion, one that parallels this, and that's my experience before Judson and after Judson. Before Judson, I had a solid foundation. I earned my bachelor's in economics and international business from Cornell College, and I began a career in electronic components. I found some success in leadership, but something was missing. Like many, I thought I knew all there was to know about leadership. And I'd read countless books, absorbed all the advice, and I tried 2 schools for my master's, and neither one got any traction after a few classes. But God had a different plan. How many times have we heard that? He tugged at my heart, and He put me at a Christian university in my backyard, Judson University. Praise the Lord. The third time was a charm. And when I stepped into my first class at Judson, I quickly realized how much more there was to learn and how different this experience was going to be. This is where my conversion began. After Judson, everything changed. One of my earliest classes challenged me to rethink everything I thought I knew about leadership. I remember sitting in class surrounded by my incredible cohort, who I stay in touch with, many of them today. In fact, Pete's here. We had an incredible cohort. And I realized that leadership wasn't just about achieving goals, it was about serving others, creating community and empowering those around me. That moment was pivotal for me, and it's a lesson that continues to guide me in my personal and professional life. I discovered there are several models of leadership, each with its own strengths. It was in this journey of discovery that I found my own leadership path, servant leadership. Jesus, the ultimate servant leader, didn't come to be served, but to serve. Matthew 20:28 says, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. This verse has always stayed with me, and it's a reflection of the leadership I strive to embody. After adopting this leadership model, I didn't just lead teams, I now serve them. I didn't just drive sales, I built lasting relationships. In everything I did, I asked myself, how can I serve others? This philosophy guided me through the challenges of leadership and helped me transform not only the companies I worked for and served, but also the way I engage with people around me, including my family. Judson taught me that leadership isn't about titles or power. It's about empowering others, building community, and putting the needs of others first. I often tell my employees, you may report to me, but I work for you. One of the greatest lessons Judson taught me was the importance of humility in leadership. Leading isn't about being in the spotlight, it's about lifting others into it. True leadership, true servant leadership means stepping aside so others can thrive. That's something I carry with me in every interaction and decision I make. As I look back on my time serving on the alumni board and now on the board of trustees, I'm reminded of the importance of giving back. Establishing the Ulrich Senior Scholarship was one way for me to invest in the future of Judson students, to recognize those who demonstrate excellence in leadership, service, and innovation. Qualities that reflect the heart of Judson itself. Judson's mission isn't just to educate, but to mold servant leaders who go on to impact their communities, their industries, and their world. It's about shaping lives that shape the world. In closing, I just want to express my deepest gratitude to Judson University for shaping the leader I am today and for this incredible honor. I want to thank my family, especially my wife Jeannie and my daughter Anna, for their unwavering support. I also want to thank Dr. Kroom, Kristen Egan, Bonnie Beanert, she couldn't be here tonight, my incredible cohort, my professors, mentors, and fellow alumni who have walked alongside me on this journey. To my fellow alumni, I challenge you to reflect on your own Judson journey. How has this university shaped your leadership and life? Let us continue to serve, lead by serving, carrying forward the mission of this great institution. Thank you.
Our fifth distinguished alumnus is Monique Sondag. Monique graduated from Judson University in 2006 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. Today, Monique is a marketing and publicity executive with over 18 years of experience in shaping and executing brand strategies, predominantly in entertainment and publishing, driving brand awareness, media coverage, and new business development and revenue growth. With a keen focus on client relations and brand elevation, Monique has spearheaded numerous successful communications and PR campaigns, securing notable media coverage across platforms such as Good Morning America, The Today Show, NPR, The Kelly Clarkson Show, The View, MSNBC, Christianity Today, Guidepost, Relevant Magazine, and many, many more. Her leadership roles, including as Vice President and Communications Director, have seen her orchestrate high-profile events and premieres, contributing to significant box office successes and book releases. Monique's knack for reading the room and her ability to devise innovative solutions drive her work. Rooted in Texas, but hailing from Illinois, her work is flavored with a unique blend of Southern approachability and Midwest practicality. Beyond her professional endeavors, Monique finds joy in watercoloring and decluttering spaces with her organizing prowess. And I can tell you about the nominations for Monique. When Lori Heiselman and Professor Rob Curry say she needs to receive a Distinguished Alumni Award, then you know it's somebody special. Please give a big round of applause for Monique Sondag.
Funny story about organizing. So if you haven't noticed, my mismatched shoes. A few weeks ago, I was organizing my closet. You know, I do this every 3 weeks. Purge all the clothes I don't need so I can go to TJ Maxx and buy the clothes I don't need. And, you know, get done, feeling good in my kitchen, and I just get this like wild hair. I need to go get that box off that top shelf for some reason. I'm tall. I have a broken pair of sandals on. And I go in, there's a footstool right next to me that I don't want to bend over and unfold, so I'm just standing, jumping, miss the landing, and then, you know, just kind of, here we are, in a boot, 5 weeks ago. So, but I do love organizing. But I wanted to also open with another story, that was just a little segue. I do feel like a pioneer here tonight because I understand that the students are they at a homecoming dance right now? They are at a homecoming. Yeah. Well, a funny story about that. So my senior year, I signed a waiver my freshman year that I would not dance, smoke, drink, all the things that waiver, all the fine print, which was just fine because I cannot dance. But my senior year, I had been campus ministry leader. I was an RA for a couple of years. That was my second year as an RA. And we planned homecoming down at the Drake Hotel, downtown Chicago. For some reason, I don't know where the miscommunication was, but there was no faculty at this event. It was just the student leaders. And so we get down there, and I don't know if you've been to the Drake Hotel, but the ballroom is gorgeous, and it has this phenomenal wood floor. We had a big band. I think it was actually a big band that starts with an H, Harlow or something. Wonderful music. So, I mean, it's huge, much bigger than the space. And so the dance floor was not covered with the tables. The tables were on the perimeter of the dance floor. And so my date that night, he happened to be one of the worship leaders of the upper room at the time, and he loved off campus to dance. And it's just like he couldn't stop the beat in his body at all times. And so the big band starts playing, and we're all just sitting there eating dinner, looking at this dance floor, but all had signed a waiver. And I am a very big rule follower, even to this day. I mean, you can talk to my counselor about that, but there's a lot of rules that I was like, oh, God, cannot break those. So the music starts, and his name will remain nameless, Ray. Just couldn't, I could see him, get shaky. And all of a sudden, he just pulls the chair back, pulls me out, swings out, and within milliseconds, the whole student body was on the floor, just dancing the night away. All the student leaders. And it was just like, well, there's that. And so the next day, myself and the other fellow RAs and student leaders danced our way to 20 work hours. So, and that was the first time I ever got my name on the board. In my senior year of college, I went to great lengths as a little kid, never to get my name on the board, but those 20 work hours, man. So I just want to thank you so much. This is a real honor to be here tonight, and just hearing everyone's story. We all have, I'm sure, very similar stories and unique to each of us too, but the through line of just how this pit stop was an important stop along the way for each of us in different ways. And I want to thank you. The first time we met was just, probably almost, I don't know. 2 years ago? No, it couldn't have been 2 years ago. No, like a year ago, maybe 8 months.
Rob Curry says you need to meet someone.
Well, we had just a lovely time visiting. And I was telling you at the time, too, when I was here, Dr. Kane, one summer I stayed on campus, and one of my jobs, I was taking a lot of random jobs, and I loved to iron. And I was like, you want to hire me to iron your clothes? So I'd iron his shirts. It was a great gig. So if anyone needs their shirts ironed, I have a really great iron, and it's very therapeutic. But I want to thank Professor Curry as well, who is not here tonight, but I got to meet up with him earlier today, which was lovely. And I want to thank my parents for their support, getting me to Judson, getting me through Judson, and every day following, up to this very night when you surprise, they just get in the car and do surprise road trips. So thank you so much. I came to Judson as an art major, and about 2 weeks into it, I was like, I don't want to be graded for my art. And so I switched to business, and about 2 weeks later, I was sitting in a statistics class thinking, this is miserable. How do people And then 2 weeks after that, I was like, but I want to get out of here in 4 years. Not because I want to get out of here, but like keep going on in life. And I stumbled into psychology, and it was similar to how I stumbled in my closet, less painful. And I, for the remainder of my time, really just enjoyed that time of study. Professor Curry, I hope that some of you had the opportunity to just be in his classes. He's so unique, and just the way he teaches and his song and dance. And I remember Bible verses today because a wise son heeds his father. You all know that. And he's still doing those today. And so anyway, I found my way, like I said, to psychology. And it turns out that each of those paths was valuable in shaping my career. And so after Judson, I ended up just stumbling into, just a lot of stumbling, into a public relations company in Dallas. And I worked with them for about 17 years. And they were working on a film at the time called Facing the Giants. Has anyone seen the movie Facing the Giants? So I had just graduated Judson, and they were having a meeting. Two of the owners, they were just having a meeting one day, and they were talking about different publications and Christianity Today, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, maybe you should contact so-and-so at this magazine because I just read it at Judson. And they're like, oh, maybe you should sit down and join us for this meeting. And so that turned into just working with them, and it stuck. And so I've had the opportunity if you watch Fireproof, their next film, I have a cameo in it. If you blink, you'll miss it. But I was on set when they were filming, and I've had the opportunity to work on so many films. I've worked on films, books, events, a variety of things, but a lot of the films in the faith-based space that I'm sure many of you have championed and watched, and we appreciate your support of those because going to them is what helps us generate more films like that. But all of those things together, art, business, psychology, were just a perfect storm, a perfect trifecta for what I'm doing today. And just for a little additional plug, some of the other films like Jesus Revolution, Unsung Hero, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This weekend, tonight, is opening night of Whitebird. So I encourage you all to go check out Whitebird. It's a wonderful film. And if you're a fan of The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins, the creator of that, has the movie The Best Christmas Pageant Ever that comes out on November 8th based on the best-selling novel, and it's wonderful. So please make plans. Open your phone right now and purchase your tickets. So I'm doing my job. No, but it's a wonderful film, and I think you all enjoy it. And so, yeah, I guess I should just come to a close now, but just thank you all so much for this recognition. And Brock, I just wanted to shout out, send me like your information about your games. I can get you some good press in the faith world. I've got inroads, and I will truly, as you were sitting there, I was like, well, I'm going to text Leah right now at the Christian Post, or we're going to get you some coverage, okay? All right, thank you so much.
Now we will present the Alumnus of the Year award to our recipient who has made significant contributions to the church and to society as he has modeled the mission statement of Judson University. This will be the 62nd person to be recognized as Judson's Alumnus of the Year. We are honored to have several Alumnus of the Year recipients in attendance today, and we would like for you to stand as I call your name. Warren Anderson, Sally Boskeljohn, Randy Gauger, and Tom Severson. Did I get everybody? I think that's right. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Thank you. Tom McCoy graduated from Judson College in 1982. Tom, that's your cue. With a Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration, where he also developed a passion for history and music studies. Tom is a seasoned financial advisor with M&E Catalyst Group, whose career began on July 8, 1982. Tom's commitment to excellence is evident in his long-standing membership with the $1 Million Roundtable, where he has been a life and qualifying member for 31 years. He currently serves as a global council member of Program General Arrangements for MDRT and has had various leadership positions within the organization. His involvement with the $1 Million Roundtable Foundation is particularly noteworthy. He has served as a past trustee, Inner Circle member, and Excalibur Knight. Additionally, he has successfully secured million roundtable grant that funded the construction of 8 homes in the Philippines through Habitat for Humanity after Typhoon Yolanda, showcasing his commitment to global humanitarian efforts. His numerous leadership roles exemplify Tom's dedication to community service and include past president of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, past president of Marshalltown Area United Way, past co-chair of fundraising for Marshalltown Area United Way, past district chair of Boy Scouts of Prairie Winds, past president of Rotary Club of Marshalltown, current assistant director of Rotary District 6000, current board member of the Outreach Program, and current board member of the Judson University Alumni Board. He is also multiple Paul Harris recipient, reflecting his significant contributions to Rotary International and community service. Furthermore, Tom is actively involved with the West Lafayette Fire Department in Ohio as an honorary member. And I probably would be remiss to say that if you're an Ohio State fan, you can wave at Tom right now because, or you can do the O-H-I-O, whatever that thing is. There's several in the room. I knew that would go over well. Tom co-chaired the Vest for the Best initiative, which raised $140,000 in just 9 months to provide ceramic vests and helmets for first responders and law enforcement in Marshall County, Iowa. Additionally, Tom and his wife, Jade, are actively involved with the Shop with the Cop initiative in Marshalltown. Tom resides in Marshalltown, Iowa with his wife, Jade, who is currently a graduate student in the Master of Arts in Ministry and Leadership program at Judson University, which means when she graduates, they'll both be Judson Eagles graduates. Jade serves as the Children's Ministry Director at Journey Church of Marshalltown. Together, they are active members of the church, contributing to its mission and community outreach efforts. Tom has 4 children, Ashley, Wesley, who's married to Caitlin, Shannon, who's married to Zach, and Sarah, who's married to Jacob. They are also proud grandparents of 7 grandchildren, Sophia, Lucas, Lydia, Matthew, Lily, Cooper, and Lucy. They share their home with 3 dogs, Kona, Cooper, and Max. Tom's extensive career, global philanthropic efforts, and strong family ties reflect his commitment to both his profession and making positive impact on the communities worldwide. Tom is a member of First Baptist Church in Marshalltown, which historically has had an amazing connection to Judson University. Lots of students have come from that church. Most recently, DJ is a first-year student here at Judson University as well, too. And when you go around Marshalltown, Iowa, everyone knows Tom McCoy because of who he is and the leadership that he shares and exhibits. And it's been our blessing the last several years to really get to work alongside of Tom as he's continued to reconnect Judson to that important community to us. Please join me in welcoming Tom McCoy as Judson's newest Alumnus of the Year recipient.
Well, I've got some notes. I'll try to keep it brief since nobody else did. Yeah, Todd took all my minutes. I'm not a public speaker. I've done it a few times, but I'm a private speaker. I estimate I've had over 40,000 individual interviews in my career. So usually when I start talking to people, I say, how can I help you? What are you here for today? What's on your mind? I can't really do that with all of you right now. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Rob. Had lunch with Rob today, which was nice, so I count him as a new friend. You're stealing my verse, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. Wow, that is tough. Lean not on your own understanding. Very difficult because I want to figure it out. I want to do it. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So how did my path get straighter? Maybe it isn't straight all the time, but it's gotten straighter in the years. And I want to thank, first of all, God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I want to thank my wife. She's very supportive and very loving and very sweet. If you haven't met her yet, she is sweet. And I want to thank my kids and my mother. And I want to thank Tom Severson, who's here, and Bill Myers. I met Tom and Bill back in 1979, a long time ago. And a couple of my new friends, Todd Ulrich, Met you 4 years ago, roughly. Gene, I met you about 4 years ago. Gene and Denny DeMoss drove to Marshalltown. They visited some people. We had a steak dinner and got to become friends. So I count Gene as a friend, or Dr. Kroom, sorry. I had a young man that was at my home here recently. He's 17 years old, and I hired him to do some work. And we were working together, and he asked me some very pointed questions. And he said, "How do you pick friends?" I was like, "Whoa, that is a really deep question. How do you pick friends?" He's 17 years old, and he's trying to find his way in life. And I said, "Well, I would pick my friends for those people who poured into my life the most," which sounds a little selfish. But I said I would pick friends that poured into my life the most. And I've done that. I've been blessed by God to be able to have that happen to me. But then the other part of that is I've worked my tail off trying to pour back into their lives and the lives of other people. So I've taken what they've given me and tried to turn around and give it back to them and other people. And so I've been blessed by God with some great friends. And as already mentioned, Pastor Bill Myers is one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life. I've known him since 1979. Tom Severson is my dear friend. We've spent a lot of time together. We actually lived together for a year or two after Judson. And his wife decided that wasn't a good idea, so. And my new friends, Todd and Gene. You guys have poured into my life greatly, and I appreciate that. So that's how I answered this young man. I said, I've got friends that are 30, 40-year friends, and some that are 4 or 5-year friends, and I count them as good friends. But I encouraged him to go out and find people that would put into his life, not suck out of it, put into his life, so he can turn around and give back to others and give back to them. So thank you for this time. Thank you. I'm very humbled and very honored. But I praise God for these friends of mine. They're godly men, and we have one thing in common, 2 things in common. We have God, and we have Judson. So thank you.
Now you can see why this is one of my favorite events of the year. Every year, the testimonies do not disappoint in talking about how wonderful and special Judson University is. I am going to ask that all of our award recipients, as efficiently and quickly as you can, as soon as I wrap up here in just a second, if you would join us over at the Judson sign so we can get your pictures. So please, friends and loved ones, release them momentarily, so they can come over there and get their pictures so they can spend more time socializing and chatting with you. This is also true of our 50th anniversary class members. If you all would also make your way over here as well to get your photo taken, and then we can continue our socializing. I invite all of you to join us tomorrow for the athletic alumni games on campus, as well as the women's soccer game at noon, a women's volleyball scrimmage at 3, our Judson tailgate at Streamwood High School beginning at 4, followed by our homecoming football game at 5 p.m. And with that, a big thank you to Kristen Egan, Fresh Ideas, the staff in advancement, and to all the folks at Judson University that made this a wonderful dinner. Please give them all a big round of applause. And with that, as we say in chapel, you are dismissed.